Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the
Oh, yo.
Northside Talks podcast, episode 5, episode 6, episode
Huh?
5 now. Golly, they're all blurring together. Yeah. Episode 5, man. Checking in with Pressure Made Manu. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. I just did a 10-hour shift, but I'm here with my broski. I'm ready. How you
Grind
feeling,
doesn't
bro?
stop. I'm good, bro. I just got off an 8-hour shift, so the grind doesn't stop for us. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. We here.
That's how it goes. I was thinking about it earlier. We're the only two people that have been on every single podcast so far. Those guys are carrying the
No,
load.
fam.
No, I'm joking. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
shout out Jelani. Shout out Milan. I played 82 games, though, man.
So those guys are on load management.
I know.
Yeah, people are gonna watch this like, these guys are toxic.
Yeah,
But nah, man, we back with those guys
those are
real
the
soon.
bros.
Might have a special guest on the way too. Nothing's confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Nothing's confirmed yet, but we might have a real special guest on the way soon. Maybe the next few episodes, whenever we can get everybody on and all the schedules match. But that being said, we got a packed episode today, man. Basketball, a lot of basketball has happened. A lot of going on in the entertainment district. So, yeah, man, y'all tuck in and enjoy. So, obviously, we're going to start off with basketball. We were just talking about it before we started to record. The Boston Celtics gave the Cleveland Cavaliers their first loss of the season. 15-0, now 15-1. I personally didn't get to watch the game, the whole game. I saw a thing here or there. What did you think of the game, though, Emmanuel?
Ooh, Jason Tatum, bro. Me and Skyler said it. Listen, it's coming. It's coming. He's on his way. Listen, I think he heard everything, man, and I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise that Jaylen Brown was the man last year. Maybe that's what he needed, because he heard the talks, and for a second he went to the Olympics. JB did not, but he didn't play, fam. I'd rather not go at all. So today, he put the team on his back, fam. But the whole team played well. I'm not gonna. All Horford got like 20 plus points. I'm like, what? You feel me? Like, I didn't know he still had those, but I guess he still has those. Who else played well? Derek White. I just feel like Darius Garland like disappeared. Like the Cavs
Yeah.
today was like Mobley did his thing. We knew what Donovan Mitchell could do and is always gonna do, but outside of that, I feel like Jared Allen could have played better. Like the Celtics are such a juggernaut of a team because like even
They're
a man like
deep.
Derek White, yeah, he had like
They're
19
deep.
points.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
like
you got Peyton Pritchard might be one of the best bench players the NBA has seen in a very long
I'm gonna
time, bro. That
lie,
guy's just he makes the most of his
and I
minutes,
don't
man.
get how. I don't get how, cause you know what he's gonna come to do, fam.
Bro, I
You
don't
know,
know.
fam. There's only one thing he can do, bro.
Bro, the thing is, I don't know. I feel like he's just one of those guys that are fully bought into his role. You know what I mean? He's not that he doesn't have ambitions to become a starter, but like he understands the team that he's on, the situation he's on. Like obviously, you're not gonna get minutes over Drew Holiday. You're not gonna get minutes over Derek White when they're healthy. But he's good at picking his moments, and I think he still gets a decent amount of PT. I think he got like 25 minutes tonight. I was just like checking the box score. Yeah, 25 minutes. Put up 13 points, an efficient 13 points off the bench, bro. That stuff, you know what I mean? It matters. It all adds up. But Boston in general are just stacked. That's the main thing. Like you don't even need like one of your 4 All-Star, well, damn near 5 at this point, can drop,
Yeah.
like a bad game and it's fine. Y'all still win by 20, whatever it is. That being said, it was a more or less close game final score-wise, 120 to 117, tight game.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but for majority of the games, bro, trust me, that's good. The headlines are gonna, cause it was like maybe they came back in the fourth, cause that's when I kind of tuned out. But they were beating them by like 23 plus at one point. Like it was bad, fam.
yeah,
It was bad.
the thing is, going back to what you were saying with the whole Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown thing, I feel like you're right. I feel like the whole Olympics thing, you know what it did? It put the Olympics thing plus the finals run and how everyone was talking about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and, as of right now, Jaylen Brown's the true number 1 of the team because this, that, and the third, whatever. I think it just instilled a chip on his shoulder. You know what I mean? On Jason Tatum's shoulder for him to kind of have to prove it. Because beforehand, people knew Tatum was cold. But no one was really challenging that. You know what I mean? The media wasn't challenging how good he was because up to that point, it was just clear as day, 1A, 1B, or however you consider them. Up until that finals run, and then the Olympics happened, where now the guy's not getting any PT. I'm not gonna lie to you, even to this day, I don't understand the decision to bring Jason Tatum in on the team. If you weren't gonna play him, then what's the, you know what I mean? Because genuinely, Jaylen Brown actually would have fit better, considering the role that Tatum would have been afforded, in the sense of like, okay, you're not gonna be a scorer on this team because we got Brown, we got Steph, we got KD, we got Ant. So really, for you, the only thing that's left is defense, brother. And Jaylen Brown showing a willingness to play defense. You know what I mean? So I don't really get the whole thing. I feel like that was psychological warfare, bro. I swear.
No cap. Low key. But I feel like Derek White, you know, that's why he played. And it's like Jaylen Brown could have been a better Derek White, fam.
1,000%.
Every day of the week, yes, fam. So
1,000%.
But you're right. I think that lit a fire under him, and I think he needed that, bro, because he was kind of always heralded as the one, and outside of the last playoffs, he always kind of, like, he did well. Like, during the regular season, he always did his thing, you know? But I feel like sometimes you got to go through adversity, and for someone that loves Kobe, that loves people like that, like, he probably feels like, oh, this is a perfect moment for me to build up my story, you know? Like, these Olympics, all that. Next year, MVP. Next year, back-to-back finals MVP. And you could make a movie, you feel me?
Yeah,
like
because
ups and downs.
We've talked about it, the whole future face of the league thing, and I've always said Ant, but like again, I could see Tatum being that, whatever it is. But I think what would push Tatum to a different level in terms of not only being seen as the face of the league, but also just how people perceive him, is if he adds a little bit of that kind of like that mean streak to him. You know what I mean? Like show a little bit of ego. Like, I get there's a very fine line between where it's, okay, this is a healthy amount of whatever you want to call it, whether it's ego, cockiness, whatever, and then there's a very thin line where if you go over that, now it's a toxic thing to the team, and now you know what I mean? You're not helping anything, whatever. Like, I feel like Jaylen Brown, low-key, doesn't have any of it, and I think people were cool with that because, like we were saying, he was kind of the clear number 2 in people's eyes. You know what I mean? That would occasionally outperform the number 1. Tatum, if you look at all the past guys, not even past guys are still playing right now that have reached the top, like Bron, KD, Steph, all these guys, Ant showing it from a young age, that have that kind of cockiness to their game about like you saw Kevin Durant in what year was that? When they beat the Clippers. They were talking about him. He's like, you guys know who I am. Like, I'm Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? And then
I am, right? Yeah.
These guys put up back-to-back 30 or 40-point games after that. Like, stuff like that, I love that. You know what I mean? Bron says straight out sometimes, I'm the best player in the world. You know what I mean? Like, he'll just flat out say it.
Right.
As you should.
But, you know, I feel like JB has that too, but I feel like he's a silent killer, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's so cerebral, bro. Like, the guy's a genius, bro. Low key. Like, he could have not played in the league and be fine. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like, the league shouldn't be like what? Like, he does way more than basketball. But, like, I feel like last year, there was this clip, right? Of him talking to Jason Tatum, fam. But it was kind of weird because he was saying, you know who you are? Duke's dad. Yeah, show him what Duke's dad do. And I thought that was kind of like, why is he bringing Duke and Deuce into it? But I'm like, wow, he's the one giving Jason Tatum like confidence. That's kind of crazy. Confidence. That's kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Because like,
I don't know.
Would you think that?
The what's the word, like the leadership dynamic, the power dynamic with Boston? It's like there's not too many teams that really have that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every other team in the league is like, okay, this is obviously this person's team. And, like, that's probably... Like, obviously, there's a lot of guys behind the scenes that don't get credit in the main media. A lot of times it's, like, veteran players that, you know what I mean, that just have that locker room voice where you won't see it on the court because they don't play as much. But, you know, behind closed doors, they're kind of, you know, the mini coaches of the team kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, maybe Boston has that also with, like, I don't know, Al Horford's a gazillion years old at this point. I don't know if maybe he's like that.
Drew Holiday.
Drew's been around. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So they might have that over there where it's kind of like more spread out amongst themselves. But yeah, I don't know. They gotta. I will say they got extremely lucky, Boston, in terms of you hit on both your draft picks.
Yep.
And I mean, as far as we're concerned as fans, they work well together. You know what I mean? You don't see them butting heads over whatever this,
Yeah.
that, and the third. You know what I mean? There's no animosity. It seems like between the two of them. It's just kind of thing. But that being said, like we were saying with Jason Tatum, and instilling a bit of that fire under him, I'd be interested to see if that does kind of become a thing. Not towards a toxic point, but you do see Tatum get more aggressive, I guess, in certain cases, and be less reluctant to defer in certain cases. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be in his like revenge arc, you know. But Skyler, is it luck? Because they got the draft picks, yeah, but then they got Kyrie at one point, and they saw that wasn't working, so
Yeah.
they traded him. They still got the KP. They still got Drew at the end. I feel like the head office also did their thing. You feel me?
Yeah, and the thing is too, I'm just trying to remember his name, Brad Stevens, because he was the coach of the team. I think
Yeah,
he was the coach of the team
Brad Stevens.
with
He
Kyrie
was.
there, and then he kind of fell back to the background to the front office. I think that guy, because when he was the head coach, and now I believe he's the head of basketball operations. I believe.
Yeah, he
Or
elevated.
the general
fam.
manager.
That's why he
Shoot,
fell
sorry.
back. Yeah.
No, yeah, I just meant like fall back. Like he's not in the spotlight as much anymore
Yeah,
as he
in the
would be with
spotlight
like Joe
anymore,
Mazzulla
yeah.
as the head coach. But I think that guy has a lot to do with it, bro. Because that guy was a bona fide genius when he was playing. I think he's a relatively young GM as well. Like he wasn't in the league for that long, if I'm not mistaken, before he became, the general manager of the team. I feel like he has a big part to play in the success they've had. And yeah, to your point, figuring out when to cut ties with certain players like Kyrie Irving where it just wasn't working out and whatever. Because that's got to be tough. You know what I mean? You're getting the guy that
Oh my
is
God,
selling
an
tickets just,
all-star, fam.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, that's a
bro.
superstar at the time. And
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
you have to understand, you're stepping on the toes of our two young guys. So bounce,
That are
you know?
becoming superstars now.
Yeah.
Like Jason Tatum is on that and on that level. Jaylen Brown is on that level. You know, so it's
Yeah.
a bargain.
So they're smart. But going across to the Western Conference, me and you had talked about it a little. I feel like this isn't right to talk about without Milan here, but I mean, shoot, because it feels like we're just pushing an agenda with no defense against it, bro. But Luka Doncic, bro, defense, defense, golly. And the thing is, obviously, you've been pushing it more than I have. I haven't even been that tapped in with it. You've been pushing it like crazy. What do you think of the whole defensive thing with Luka, and does his offensive production outweigh the defensive liability at times? What are your takes on it? What are your thoughts on it?
I think honestly, let me put my a bit of my bias aside, and Milan's not here, so I'm gonna try to keep it neutral. I think it depends on what you want to do. You feel me?
Right.
If you want to sell tickets, if you want a superstar like a Kyrie type of guy where night in, night out people coming to watch, let Luka do what he's doing because that's going to work and he's probably going to win an MVP off that because the game is so much geared towards the offensive side of the ball, you know?
100%.
But if you want to win, if you really want to win, everybody, like, your best player has to play defense as well. He can't be a liability, bro. And then, like, I feel like if that means that you got to step back a little bit on offense, maybe that's what you need to do, you know? You got Klay Thompson, you got Kyrie. I just feel like if you put in, and defense is about effort, fam. Like, we're not asking you to do the most, you know? Just be aware, know what you're doing, just try. Like, give it a shot, you feel me? So it's like, but I think it depends on what you want. If you want to sell tickets, then fam, Luka's is gonna get an MVP. Like the league wanted him to be the face.
Yeah.
The only reason Luka isn't the face is because he hasn't won it yet.
Yeah, I hear that. I think it's coming to light because of I'll put him up on the screen, whatever, at some point. I will probably put it now. Of those two plays, it was in crunch time too against Utah Jazz. There was one play where he was guarding, I think it was Colin Sexton coming up the court. And first of all, his athletic stance is so lazy. Like, his defense stance is so lazy. It's flat-footed. Knees are straight. His arms are just a little bit out like that. This it. Jordan Clarkson comes to run like, it just looked like a little brush screen. Just kind of tapped him on his hip. Like, not even set a screen for real. And that was enough to put Luka in cement, bro. The man couldn't move. He didn't move. It was a straight blow by. Oh, man. And then the worst one was the last important defensive play of the game. it looked like he was just confused. He didn't know what was going on. It kind of looked like he was talking to Jason Kidd on the sideline about like whatever, I guess, about how they wanted to run the defensive scheme, because he's guarding John Collins, who like obviously he's not the Jazz's like go-to offensive guy, but anything in and around the rim, the guy's a leaper. So he goes into the dunker, and Luka's kind of just looking off to the sideline, kind of like, again, flat-footed. I don't even think he looked at John Collins. I don't even know if he knew he was guarding John Collins. And it was just a little backdoor cut because the man was nowhere to be found. I was honestly surprised. Like, I think it was Colin Sexton that passed the ball into John Collins. I'm pretty sure the whole time he's probably just hoping and praying that Luka stays right there so that we can run the clock down just a little while longer, and then that way, when we get this dunk, it's like a few seconds left on the clock, whatever. And I mean, the wish is paid off, bro, because Luka just stood right there the whole time, and it's like, brother, this is crunch time. It's like those are the plays that got highlighted because it's crunch time, but throughout the whole game, the guy was struggling, bro. And to your point, it's effort too, right? Like we're not asking you to be an all defensive guy. I'm not asking you to be a DPOY. I'm not even asking you to be a great defender, but move. You know what I mean? Just put your arms out, shuffle your feet. And the thing is, he showed a few times in that game, because I was watching the clips back over and everything like that. He showed a few clips where he was actually playing good defense. Like it's just that it's literally just he's just choosing not to do it sometimes, because I guess because Kyrie was out that night. So maybe he felt that, he has to take extra burden on the offensive side of the ball, which is fair, but I don't think that should come at the cost of playing defense. You know what I mean? Because now the Mavs are going 4-on-5 every time down the court because you just don't feel like it.
Literally, fam.
And the thing, I feel like, I don't know, how do you feel like they could go around or get around this? Personally, I feel like the only way they can, because superstar players, when they get established like Luka, I'm not calling them divas, but it's very hard to completely switch your play style once you've already been as successful as someone as Luka has been. You know what I mean? Ever since he got into the league, he's been one of the best offensive players in the game. You know what I mean? Triple doubles, 70-point game, 60-point game, whatever it is. I feel like it's gonna be very hard for someone to come in and tell him, "Yo, got to play defense now," whatever, and for him to actually listen to that. So I feel like your only other workaround is I don't know what pieces you would have to do this, but bring in someone that's a versatile defensive anchor kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because they got Derek Lively down there in the middle, and he's cool defensively, but he's just kind of a rim protector, and I don't really think, like, obviously he anchors as much as any other center does, but in terms of getting in Luka's face about it, he's never going to do that, bro. That guy's going to be benched. They might ship him off to Toronto, to here. You know what I mean? They don't want he's not going to do that. But if you got someone that can be your like if they had a Drew Holiday, for example, someone that can be your defensive anchor and be vocal about it, like a Draymond Green or whatever it is, I feel like that's the only way they would work for them. But I don't know. What do you think, bro?
To your point, I think nobody can tell Luka to play defense. I think that's one of those things that have to come from him. I think at one point you got to look at yourself in the mirror, bro. What do you want out of basketball? If you want to be an all-star, you want the money, you want to do all that, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you actually want to win, he's gonna There's no way he doesn't see those lowlights of him in the finals. Like, think about that, right? Like, obviously we gotta be honest. Kyrie kind of wet the bed. If we're keeping it real, he kind of disappeared Houdini style, But I feel like Luka, like, you gotta think about it, and the only way I see them winning if he doesn't change, if they face like a bad team in the finals, like by some miracle, if like freaking the Pacers get to the finals or something like that, like they'll win then, fam. But if you don't play defense, like, I feel like as long as you have a cone on your team, the other fam, if they're good enough to get to the finals, they're good enough to find a scheme where you will get exposed every time. Especially if they have a player like LeBron, like Giannis, that could really do it for the whole duration of the game, or Anthony Davis, fam. If they have a juggernaut like that, fam, you're not winning, bro.
Yeah. To your point, it's all schemes, bro. Because as soon as they pick up on the fact that, oh shoot, he's not really trying to be out. Forget what we were doing in practice. This is what we're running. Just ISO, give me the ball on the wing. And that's how we're going to keep it going.
Even with Kyrie and Steph Curry. When
Yeah.
they had a Curry, they didn't want to guard Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they won. They're
Yeah.
like, yo, fam, fam, get this man on him, fam, and he cooked him.
Okay, this is off topic a little bit, but because you said that, and this is something that I've been watching, because I obviously watch basketball games, you see it every single time when teams switch. Because a lot of I think every single team switch on picks, every single one of them.
Yeah.
And I understand it if you have the personnel to do that. Okay, so Boston, for example, you want to do a little guard to guard thing. Okay, well, we're switching from Drew Holiday to Derek White. That's okay with me. Drew Holiday to Jalen Brown. That's okay with me. But if you're gonna go switch from, because you brought up the Kyrie and Steph thing, if you're gonna go and switch, because that play, it was Clay guarding Kyrie,
Yeah.
bringing the ball up. Jr., who was being guarded by Steph at the time, came and set some little half-ass screen on Clay, and they just switched so easily. And I'm like, what was the point of having Clay guard him coming up the court then if you're just going to sacrifice the switch so early? Because there's times where, like, you're doing it and it's like, this is literally now you just put yourself at a disadvantage. This is such a clear liability. You're giving the other team what they wanted immediately, but no fight, with no nothing. I get it. There's certain times where you're forced to do it because maybe it's someone like Braun or whoever, or like a prime Russ, where they're coming around the screen and they're going downhill. They're not waiting. You know what I
One
mean?
second. You got 1 second to get over that.
So some guys, they'll come around the screen and they're just going straight downhill. So I get it, switch in that case because you have to. But you're setting the screen 40 feet up the court. Why are you switching? They're not gonna do anything out there. I don't know. That was a little off topic rant. That really, it was annoying to me because I seen it happen. Who did I see it happen with recently? It was a few weeks ago. But some team switched and it was like a big on small what they ended up switching, and I'm like, why? Like, I mean, what was the whole point of that? But
Yeah.
I don't know. Speaking of bigs, I feel like we have to. Well, me specifically, I don't remember where you sat on the fence with it. We have to address this whole Wemby thing, bro, because I have to apologize.
Oh.
The guy heard me say
Yeah.
that he's not shooting, whatever. This brother started going crazy. Started lacing him for fun. And I was like, shoot. Everything we just said is irrelevant now. I had a TikTok made that my girl edited and everything like that. Put in work on this TikTok. I'm seeing like 40-some points. I think he put up 50. And then I posted the TikTok the next day because I'm like, bro, it has to go up. There's too much work, but at this point, it's not relevant anymore, bro. So the guy started figuring it out, bro. Put up a career high 50 points. He took 16. I think it was 16. He took 16 3-pointers in that game, and I think he was hitting 50%, which 8 for 16 is crazy. But I don't know. Do you think that was the small blip that that was the one chance everyone had to kind of get on him and criticize him about this part in his game? For now, he's just figuring it out now. 40% free throw, 3-point shooter, and now we got a real demigod. We got a real unicorn.
I feel like that's possible. I feel like it's possible. I was kind of on your side, but I don't know how crazy I went, but I was definitely on the side of we gotta develop like an inside game or something like that, or be at least look comfortable being inside.
Yeah.
And I still think that's a role because if you live by the three, you're gonna die by the three.
Facts.
Like at some point, you're gonna go cold. Steph's been cold, and Steph's the greatest shooter of all time. So if that happens to you in the finals or something like that, and you're not ready to get in the paint and do what you gotta do, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it more so like what's gonna help my team win ultimately, and that's him being able to be inside, get buckets, have a little post move, but like post game, but like I don't know, like even right now I think he's hurt or something like that. Like I don't know if that's just rest, but maybe that plays into it. Maybe they're like, and that was my other thing. If they're looking at it like we don't want this guy to get hurt playing inside, then I get it, and he wants to shoot anyways and it just works, then it works. But I feel like at some point you're gonna need to dominate the paint,
Yeah, I think it's because you said so. The whole thing would live by the three, die by the three, 100%. But I feel like it makes it worse if you're 7'4"
Yeah, of
and
course.
dying by the three, because it's like you don't even need to be out there for real.
You don't.
You know what I mean? And it's like I was just looking on my phone because obviously Steph's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time, greatest shooter in general of all time, right?
100%.
Throughout his career, he's shooting 42 and a half from three, which is crazy to me because, bro, if you really deep that, you're telling me for his career, if you just put it on averages, you're taking 10 3-pointers a game, you lace 4 of them. Some nights you lace 5 because it's at 4.5, and that's it, bro. Like, that's what it gets you. Obviously, in reality, that's not what it is. In reality, it's certain nights where he's going freaking like 12 for 15 from 3, and then maybe he has a little slow night here and there that kind of mitigates it a little bit. But like,
and how he's doing it too, like the type of threes he takes.
So I don't know, for the whole Wemby thing, it's just annoying to see because it's like, bro, you're so damn big. Like, you don't even need to do. Like, I get it because it's gonna extend your career because it's not as much wear and tear on your body and everything like that. And him taking threes is going to be completely different from Steph because, like, Steph was out here running around 55 screens, half of them being moving screens, and then throwing up a shot. Wemby, it'll be to see how they're doing it, but I feel like so far they're just letting him create his own threes, which look crazy to me.
Cook.
Yeah, they look crazy. They gave him the full green light of, like, yo, whatever you want to do, just go ahead and do it. I was like, dang. Because this is a little bit off topic, but I want to know if you have anyone in your head of this. Because we just talked about Wemby taking all these threes, whatever, regardless on if they're going in or not. We're talking about Luka, who isn't playing no defense, can't play no defense, or isn't playing no defense. These are two top guys in the NBA. There's discourse around, like, just players in general, not even just basketball, but like sports in general. You want to talk about Ronaldo, Messi, whatever the case is, where it's like, would you? I don't know what the right way is to bring it up. Basically, it talks about if you're a coach for, let's say, because we're talking about basketball, you're a coach for a basketball team, 10-year-olds or whatever the case is. I'm not showing them Luka. I'm not showing them Wemby. I'm not showing them Steph, because I don't want you doing that. But at the same time, these guys are the best in what they do. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like if you're a coach and if you just did like a little social experiment and you're the coach and you tell your team, tomorrow bring me names of what you deem as the perfect NBA player, the perfect soccer player, the perfect football player, whatever it is, and then you bring your own list, you guys are going to have completely different lists, bro. Completely different lists. Not one of those kids are going to have Kawhi Leonard on their thing. Not a single person.
I wouldn't either, though. I'll be honest.
Okay, but health aside, you this guy's crazy.
Yo, can we get some? Like,
what are you talking about?
Fam, where is Kawhi, fam? Come on.
No.
I'm not asking the right question.
Take the injuries out of it. But no one's going to have a two-way guy on their list. People are going to have LeBron on there, which is cool, obviously, because that's a point-blank period. But half of those kids, especially if they're smaller kids, are going to have Steph Curry on their list. And it's like, fam, I'm not showing you that. I don't want you taking a 35-footer with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. What are we doing?
That's true. I feel like it depends, right? Because I feel like it depends on the level. Obviously, you're right, fam. If you have a bunch of kids, then most likely there's no Steph Curry in here.
Yeah.
But if by the off chance that you do get a Steph Curry, I'm of the mindset of let's unlock that potential right now. Listen, you're on a different program. You feel me? These ones, we gonna keep them over there. You feel me? But we on a different. But like, I feel like all like jokes aside, I feel like what I would do is like play guys like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker.
You want to show like Kevin Durant?
Yeah, and Devin Booker. Because I feel like those guys are exceptional, especially Booker, but they still do all the little things. Like Booker and the USA team, you know?
Facts.
I'll do it. When he was like, I'll do it. He's a superstar, fam. He doesn't have to do it. He's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
the fact that he was willing to do that and the way he puts the team on his back, and if you watch them play, they play very like fundamentally sound.
Hmm.
Like Kevin Durant is not taking no crazy off balance shots, you know?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
gets to a spot, he rises and he shoots,
Hmm.
but it's in control. Like that's what I would want. Like look at those, they're still offensive juggernauts, but the way they're doing it, the footwork, you can actually learn from these guys, you know?
Facts, facts. Cause yeah, I was looking at it the other day and I was like, bro, this is like, specifically the Wemby thing, and I'm like, obviously when it's
Yeah,
working, like the
fam.
50 point thing, like it's cool when it's working, great. But when it's not working, that looks so ugly. It's like, bro, what are we doing? I don't know. But anyways, we had that in the little doc. Wemby went for 50. Giannis topped it. I think the next night, 59 points. And then the night after that, I think it was the night after that, or like it was definitely the same week. De'Aaron Fox went for the quietest 60 point
Oh
night
yeah.
ever. And I think it was literally, which we'll talk about it later. It was because it was the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. Like that was the
No
night
way.
that De'Aaron Fox put up 60. And
No
I'm like,
way.
I didn't even hear about it until
Oh, that
Twitter.
makes sense.
That's
Actually,
what I
that makes
mean.
sense.
I was just scrolling on Twitter one day and someone said, "Oh, De'Aaron Fox put up," because I think the night before that, I think he put up 50 or something like that.
Yeah,
The
he
night
had 50
before,
the night before.
yeah, and this
Before
guy
he got
went 60 the next day, which is, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's a career high for him. But yeah, bro, the amount of scoring in the NBA lately is going through the roof. I saw this video. I don't know if you've seen it before. It's this guy Jimmy High Roller on YouTube.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, that guy. His content is
Yeah.
very good. Yeah, he did a video. I don't remember what the name of the video was. I put up a little thumbnail of the thing. Um, where he was talking about the amount of 3 pointers being taken this year. So obviously, like leading the league is Boston. Boston takes the most threes at every team. Whatever. But what's crazy in the video, every team in the league today. So I don't know who's at the bottom tier teams like Washington, like Utah,
Us.
whatever. Yeah, the Raptors. Everybody. Every team in the NBA right now is taking more threes than I think it was the 2015 Golden State Warriors, which is basically when that all kicked off. Every team is taking more threes than the best team of 9 years ago. Bro, that's crazy.
The Steph effect.
Bro, and
Blame your light skinned brother.
and fam, he's
Yeah.
showing clips. He's showing clips of, and I think this is where I got that whole thing where I asked you with the, what players would you show your like team of 10-year-old players, whatever, had a thing. He's showing clips, bro. I think there was a game against Boston and Charlotte. I think it was Boston and Charlotte, where it's like a 3 minute stretch of just threes. There's like a layup and everything else is a three. There was the game where, and I mean, context matters in certain cases. He was talking about the game of the season opener, Boston and New York and the Knicks,
Oh
where
yeah.
Boston were just chucking threes, but it's because
They almost
they almost broke the record. So clearly they were hunting for that record.
yeah.
But like, if
Especially
you're
at
just
the end.
yeah, but if you're just watching it, like, bro, they're just coming down the court and just chucking up shots, and it's like, yo, what's going on? And yeah, man, every team takes more threes than the best team 9 years ago, which was the 2015 Golden State Warriors. I don't know. I mean, what do you think about the whole three epidemic, bro? Because obviously that's just basketball at this point. Like, people can shoot, so they shoot. I understand it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sound like a boomer, but like, what do you think about it?
Two things, bro. I'm gonna be honest, outside of Steph, because Steph is the main thing, if we're keeping it real. Steph and Clay, we gotta give Clay a little bit more respect.
Yeah.
Did his thing too. But outside of that, I feel like one easy math, like three is more than two. So if I make more threes than you, and you make a lot of twos, even if you make more twos than me, I could still win.
Hmm.
Second of all, it looks better. I feel like the three, I feel like it's a spectacle now, you know? Like, it's one of those things where, like, kids want to do it, and it opens the doors for a lot more things. Like, not every kid is going to grow up to be 6'10",
Yeah.
6'5". Like, you have more of a chance to be 6'1" or 6'2". So it's kind of like, if I can shoot from that far and I can make it, I'm going to watch the NBA more. Because you know what? These guys are just like me. And I feel like that brings in more money, and that helps the league. So I feel like, but that's why, like, last year it went too far. Like, the office with like every little foul and everything. I like that
Yeah,
this year they're toning it down a lot. They're not calling a lot of fouls driving, but I feel like it's about money. It's about the eyeballs. It's about whatever people are gonna watch more. You know.
yeah,
So it's like,
that's facts. As crazy it is to say, bro, like the average kid probably has a better chance of being Steph Curry than they do of being LeBron James. Like
what
that's
we
a
have?
crazy
Oh,
thing to say,
I
but
know.
like,
I
yeah, I
know.
mean, shoot, to your point, not everyone's grown up to be a freaking what is he 6'8", 6'9", 250.
Yeah,
Like you know what I
fam.
mean? Just a freight train like that. Most people, and even Steph is 6'3", bro. A lot of people aren't gonna touch six
Yeah.
three, but it's more
True.
attainable, I guess. So to your point, yeah, shoot. If that's what people can relate to and attach themselves to, then yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't just push it, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like. Actually, because you brought that up, we talked about Jason Tatum earlier. Did you see the thing with the last 2 minute report against the Raptors on the
Oh yeah,
game
yeah,
winner?
yeah. And the game winner.
Bro, I hate the last 2 minutes. What do you think of the last 2 minute report? Because I hate it. I hate it. It's so
Yo,
bad.
I feel like in the last 2 minutes, a rule they should do, and I know some people might not like it, is like everything is reviewable. If we're
Like
not sure
right then
about
and there.
something, yeah, fam, because there's no point in being like, oh, he did travel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because it's like, we lost. You feel me? Like, we still took the L. Like, it's not like you're going to give us the game back.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
yeah. That's
admitted
what I'm
that you
saying.
messed up, and that's it. We can't even talk about it. We can find the shit. Like,
Yeah,
come
bro.
on, bro. Like,
That's why I hate it. And the thing is, too, is like, okay, everyone's gonna be on about the travel, right? Because that was on the game winner. What? Or I don't like not like the buzzer went off, but you know the when he iced the game with the three,
yeah.
saying he traveled on it. But it's like, fam, every possession. I don't even know what a moving screen is in the NBA because
You
all of them
understand?
are moving. You're all moving. There's tons of carries. There's everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, on one hand, you're not gonna call everything because then there's just gonna be no flow to the game. Every game's gonna be 5 hours because you're just calling
Oh,
something
yeah.
every single possession. But at the same time, you have to keep a little bit of what's the word? A little bit of like honor, I guess, in the game
Yeah.
when it's like you can't lose like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to stick to the code a bit. Like,
Yeah, that's
the
what I
rule book.
mean. Yeah, because it's like, yeah, everyone's gonna start complaining about the last 2 minutes, but why is it the last 2 minutes? It's like we were losing before. Do you know what I mean? Like we would.
Yeah.
It's not like everything happened in 2 minutes, bro. This is a whole. This is an
Yeah.
accumulation of 48 minutes of basketball right now, bro. What's going
Facts.
on? But yeah, I don't know. That was I saw it the other day, and I figured we should bring that up just in case for any Toronto fans that are hurting about the last 2 minutes and yada yada yada. But to brighten up spirits, specifically within the Toronto Raptors fan base, the Philadelphia 76ers suck. They stink. They're horrible. They're 2-11. They're worse than us on paper. They are horrible. Tyrese Maxey's out here calling out Joel Embiid in
Hey,
team meetings or player meetings, whatever it was. Jared
someone
McCain's
has
making TikToks. Paul
yeah.
George is, I don't know what Paul George is doing, but he's not hooping. Embiid's not hooping either. Nick Nurse is just out over
He's
there.
tired.
He's
Yeah,
over
bro.
there. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Hey, and we got Pirtle. Like right now, Pirtle's going
Bro, that
crazy,
guy's
fam.
damn near all star right now. What's
Husky, I
going
think he
on?
had a 20. I think he had 28 and 18, fam. I was
Yeah.
like, what? This the
Yeah.
same guy, fam?
And the thing is, I don't know
He's
why. Like, I'll watch the games. Like, I
me
watch the
too.
Raptors games. I don't know why it's working all of a sudden. Because it's like, he's not doing anything different, in my opinion. Like, I've seen him. He's a very traditional and solid center. Like, he does his job. Whatever, whatever. I don't know what it like. They're just feeding him the ball more on the pick and rolls. I don't know what it is, bro. Guy.
I think he's lucky, bro. Like the ball just comes to
No,
him
you
on the
can't say lucky,
rebound.
bro. That guy. Cause yeah, no, I've been
'Cause I
seeing
know,
it. He hasn't added no
cut,
dimension
bro.
to his game. He's just been, you know, doing his same old, same old. So okay, see again, bringing it back to what I just said. I have big men, slow-footed big men on my 10-year-old basketball team. I'm showing him Jakob Poeltl. I'm sorry, I am
Yeah,
traditional.
that's good.
He doesn't
Yeah.
do nothing that hurts his team.
Rebounds.
Rebounds, sets good screens.
Or I want him to succeed. I'm about to show them AD, fam. Why not? Add a little something to your
You
game,
have
cause
to be
fam,
the
you know
right
that's what the
guy.
NBA is. Yeah, you do have that.
You gotta
That's
be the
true.
right
That's true.
guy. Cause there's
Cause I
certain
feel like
kids, where like, obviously you gotta uplift the kids' spirits and whatever. But there's other
that's true.
ones you gotta nip it in the bud early, bro. You gotta
Okay, yeah.
after
Let's not get to
Wemby
one of
dropped the
those
50.
things.
After Wemby dropped the 50, I'm going to that one big man on my team. And I'm looking at. Don't even think about it. Don't even try that. You'll be sitting next to me on the bench. Don't even try
That's not
that.
you.
You gotta destroy their confidence a little bit. Just keep them in the right stratosphere. You know what I mean? Some people are meant to be Wemby, others are meant to be Jakob and that's okay. You can have a great career either way. But
That's a good point.
but what do you make of the whole like? What do you see Philly doing for this season? Are they done now? It's 2-11. Like it's early in the season still. They're 2-11, and they're in the East. The East suck. So like I think I was looking before like earlier today. Right now, as of today, they're 3 games out from a play-in spot, 4 games out from a playoff spot. So it's like, I mean, they're not out of it for real. It's just,
Yeah.
but what do you think is their cap this season?
Honestly, the 76ers is such a like weird team because I don't really like. I've never even like thought about it until now, but I feel like for them, I think they could be a playoff team, fam. Like 4 games. I'll be honest, if MB comes back, Maxi comes back, PG comes back, fam, it's still like 3 All-Stars, bro. Like get to
Yeah.
the playoffs. You feel me? Like now, I don't know how Embiid is gonna take the criticism, but if he's the leader that I think he can be, then I think this franchise takes another step in the right direction. But he has to become the leader. He can't just I don't like how like I like that he named Maxi the franchise, but bro, you're the franchise, bro. Stop acting like I don't want you divvying up your job and stuff like that. Like own up to it, bro. Put your big man pants on, fam, and lead the team.
Yeah.
Like be on time, do what you gotta do, and the rest of the team will follow. You just got Paul George, like a
Mm.
man's really ready to quit. Like fam, there's no way they could quit this early, fam. I refuse to believe that, bro.
Yeah, and to your point too, like, because what Maxie had said, like, apparently what Maxie had called him out on was for being on time to things, and like, bro, that's not a good look. Like, it's one thing for,
Nah, fam.
you know what I mean, for him to maybe call him out on like, you're, I don't know, just being toxic to the team, like he's not
Yeah.
whatever. But bro, being late to things is crazy. If you're the leader of the team, because naturally you
You're
are
the
the leader
leader,
of the
fam.
team. You know what I mean? You're the MVP. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's one of, if not the longest tenured guy on the team at this point. Um, you've seen everybody
Might be.
come in and go. Do you know what I mean? So you are the leader of the team for all intents and purposes. And you got a 24-year-old calling you out. 24. I don't want to just say Tyrese Maxey is just a 24-year-old because obviously, he is Tyrese Maxey. And from what I've seen in the reports, anyways, they say that they, see Tyrese Maxey as a young leader on the team, and it's great. But fam, young leader that's done what versus MVP of the league for how long? You know what I mean? Like you can't be getting called out like that.
Hmm. I feel like if I could offer some pushback on this point that we both have,
Mm.
it's like maybe Embiid is kind of tired of the Sixers, bro. Brisky, you don't remember that story, that reporter, fam? If I'm the man in my city, fam,
Oh, the one
no,
he got into a beef
no
with?
reporter should ever be able to talk about my family, fam.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if that can happen and I do something about it, and you, the organization, make me apologize to him, fam, as an African man, do you know what? Bro, we need to like to apologize, bro. Especially when we're right, fam.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being wrong?
Yeah.
Everybody lined up looking at you. Yeah, fuck us, nigga. And you're like, fam, I'm sorry. Even though, fam, come on, fam. That could break a man, fam.
No,
Like,
that's a good point. It's a good point because, yeah, I don't even remember the reporter's name. Forget the reporter. We're not bringing no clout to that guy, bro. But that was messed up. That was messed up for real. And to your point, I seen this one thing. I don't know if it was a direct response. I think it low key happened before all of that. It happened at some point this season. Maybe it was when he was initially getting all the flack because obviously we know he's not playing back to backs.
yeah.
And obviously he caught heat for that, understandably so, because whatever. But what were you gonna say? You're gonna justify him not playing back to backs?
No,
Oh,
I was gonna say we gotta know who came up with that. Cause fam, too many times I feel like the medical staff, the head office, nigga,
Mm.
well, not nigga,
Mm-hmm.
but we're investing so much money in this guy. Let's start micromanaging it. And
Mm.
now the player gets slid under the bus because he can't really say anything. But I feel like fam, there's no way a player could just wake up one day and be like, you know what, broski? I'm not playing no more back to backs. Like I feel like that's something an organization would do, fam.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I feel that happens a lot within the league, where
Yeah, fam.
players kind of take heat for what's going on behalf of the organization's point. And to his point, I seen this thing, and he was saying how like, because the way I would describe Embiid's career so far is more or less just unfortunate, I guess. Because obviously when he's playing and he's healthy, bro, you can't really stop the guy. You know what I mean? And like I get on him with like the whole free throws thing, which I still stand on. By the way, I still think he's a little soft when he goes down sometimes. But I only feel that way because you see what he does when he doesn't flop. You know what I mean? Like when he's
Yeah.
actually trying to hoop for real. Um, and he was saying how like, for all intents and purposes, he plays through a lot, bro. Like the guy fractured his face. I don't know. I think that was a few
Come
seasons
on,
back or
fam.
whatever.
Yeah,
Like
come on,
broken
fam.
fingers. He had oh, what's the name of it? I'm gonna mess this up. I don't want to get it wrong. Um, you saw the thing when he was taking a free throw and his like half of his face was like,
Yeah, it was
I don't
fam.
remember what it's called. Bell's palsy. He had
Yeah,
Bell's palsy, and he's playing through all of it. You know what I mean? So
fam.
it's like,
What is that? Like,
yeah.
what is
So it's
that,
like you can't really say he's just tapping out at stuff. You know what I mean? He is playing
yeah, you
through
can't,
things,
fam.
but there is a limit to that. You know what I mean? Like I can only mess up my knee so much before it's like
So
I
much, fam.
legit
Like,
can't play anymore. Do you know what I mean? And some guys I guess are just given the short end of the stick in that regard because I don't really know what it is, bro. Like what makes some guys injury prone and what makes other guys just crazy durable? Because it's like you talk about AD. AD be getting injured. You know what I mean? Now, granted, knock on wood, he's been healthy this season for the most part, and then
hey,
last season he was
hey,
healthy.
Skyler, you gotta. It was you and someone else.
What?
Yo, oh my God, yo,
What?
I'm telling you, yo, I was telling you guys, he just needs to be. Yo, AD's good, fam. AD just needs
Yeah.
to be healthy,
But this is what
bro.
I'm saying. Like, it's not his fault that he can't stay or that he wasn't able to stay healthy before. But it's like I've seen AD take a routine layup, a hard layup, whatever, and fall, and I've seen him get up. Other times I've seen he's out for 5 months because he messed up his hip. I've seen LeBron land on his ankle,
Yeah.
look at it real quick, and just tie his shoe tighter, and then you never hear about it anymore after that, and it's fine. Like, you know what I mean? There's some guys that are just more durable than others. I don't know, like, I guess obviously some of it goes down to, how you take care of your body, but at the end of the day, these guys are all NBA players, bro. They all take care of their bodies, I'd like to assume, to a respectable amount. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
injuries happen. Like, you can't blame a player for injuries. But, yeah, for Joel Embiid's thing, I feel like it's just unfortunate. Yeah, what do you think about the whole, like, because to me, obviously, Philly's 2-11, right? They stink.
Mm.
But it's kind of understandable if you look at it from the, like, point of, okay, Embiid's been in and out, hurt.
Yeah.
Maxi's hurt. Paul George been in and out hurt. So your three main guys haven't been there. So it's understandable that you're not going to be a winning team or 500 because the three guys you're going to really rely on are in and out of the lineup. What does concern me is even though it's, 13 games into the season as of right now, we haven't seen all three of them play together yet. They're 0-3 with Embiid and Paul George. Though that would concern me more than anything else. The fact that it's like, okay, shoot. So when we do have at least two of you guys, the two more established guys, and we're still 0-3, still can't win? What's going on?
I don't know. I feel like that might be the Real Madrid thing, you know? I think it might be chemistry. And it depends on who they're playing too, you know? Because if you're losing to a team like the Boston Celtics or, some well-oiled machine, fam, you're going to get ran through. Pause. You feel me? I feel
I
like,
get it, but like,
you feel me? Because,
dang, you know what I
bro,
mean?
like, I don't even think Embiid and Paul George have really played enough to kind of judge. I feel like every team needs like a growing pain period, and I feel like they haven't had that yet. That's why they need to have all three of them together so they can figure it out. Because it usually takes a whole season to figure it out.
You had a whole
You know?
off
So like,
season. We're just playing basketball. I don't need you to know everything about the man.
That's true. That's true. But I feel like it's a new city for Paul George. He needs to get acclimated. I feel like MB was playing for the U.S. team. Paul George was home. You feel me?
Mm.
Maxi, I don't know. I feel like they gotta find a flow. Like every team
So
needs a flow.
so the last game which happened yesterday, they lost. I think they actually blew. I remember seeing it earlier. They blew like a 17, 18, 19 point lead
That's just crazy.
to Miami, and they ended up losing by
Miami.
to
Oh,
Miami.
yeah. That's because fam. That's because Himmy.
Y'all
And
still
that's the
lost,
first
bro. It
game.
was like a 30 something point swing from what you blew to what you actually lost by, and neither of them hooped. Neither Embiid had
I know,
11 points.
Skyler. You gotta understand something, bro. Don't remember how that team did Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris,
Over
Tobias.
me.
Tobias Harris over me?
Bro, bro, I checked the game. He had 19 halftime, fam. Brisky, and it's one of those where like he hasn't played. Jimmy Butler has been out for the past 4 or 5 games. Like we haven't even seen him, fam. He had that on his calendar, fam. So,
Oh yeah, for
you
sure.
guys, I'm coming back. And how am I? Fam, I wish I knew I would have bet some money. That's like easy money, fam. You gotta want like stuff in the garden. Like you feel me? Like
Yeah.
there's
There's
some
certain
plays where
locks, bro.
yeah, fam. Like damn, that's crazy. But that's probably why, fam. Jimmy, fam.
Maybe,
No,
bro.
he
I don't
wasn't
know, but
going.
it's like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, like the thing is, I wouldn't care as much if they were hooping, cause then it's easy, you know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, obviously there's something else, but it's not our star guys, you know what I mean? And that's just how it goes. But if neither of you guys are hooping and you guys are playing together, I understand the chemistry thing, but it's like, bro, at a certain point, like Philly doesn't have a bad roster. They don't have a great team, in my opinion. Like when you
Yeah,
look
I don't
outside
have
their
a
top
bad.
three, they don't have a great team. But I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
it's not as bad as it gets.
Okay.
Like Milwaukee's way worse off, like in terms of
Oh
outside
yeah.
of their top two. But even them,
Oh my God.
they're kind of digging themselves out a little bit from the hole that they were in. Like they just had a little. I think it was Giannis had a little clutch block near the
Wow.
end of the game, and then
Yeah.
Dame came down and iced it. So it's like, all right, that's exactly what you want to see.
You know what's crazy? Apparently they said that he stepped out of bounds, but they
Who?
were due for one because Giannis, when he got the block and he caught the ball after, apparently he was
No
out of bounds when he
way.
passed the ball to Dame. But to be honest, like
Whoa.
the last game between them and the Hornets, LaMelo Ball tripped and they called a foul on Giannis.
Yeah, I
And that's
remember
how
that.
they won the game. So it's kind of, and the league came out to say he did trip on himself. So it's kind of like, bro, they're kind of due for one, bro.
I remember that. Speaking
You
of
know them.
LaMelo Ball, bro, that guy has been hooping.
Yeah,
LaMelo
yeah,
Ball,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
putting the league back on notice, bro. If he could
I
stay
noticed.
healthy, because, bro,
Yeah,
the
it's
way,
scary.
again, another guy, not showing my team LaMelo Ball, bro. The way that guy plays is so
Nah, you have to.
nonchalant,
You
bro. The
have
man,
to.
he doesn't jump. He takes one-footed step back threes. He takes
He does what he
one-footed,
wants.
yeah, like it doesn't
I
even
love
matter
it.
for him. He's just hooping off of vibes, bro. But
Man,
no,
I'm showing him to my kid. That's how I want my kid to play, fam.
you could do that to
Don't
your
even look
kid,
at your
but
teammates. What?
you versus five.
Yeah, come on, fam. Nah, fam. What? I feel
Bro.
like even but Melo, like he's still a good passer too, though. Like
No, he's
if
a
you watch
great
the game
passer, bro.
when he wants to, he could really like he's averaging high, assists.
Yeah, he's a great passer. He's a great playmaker, but no, yeah, that guy's hooping. But I don't know. As far as Philly goes, bro, I feel like you can't count them out just yet. I feel like you gotta wait for like 25, 30 games, and then that's when you can kind of figure out where guys are gonna or where teams are gonna be placed at when it's all said and done and everything like that. And the fact that they're in the East too just makes it easier because no team in the East is that good. You know what I mean? Like if they were in the West, whole different story. The West is different. They're the
Look,
complete opposite from the East where everyone's hooping. It's like a bloodbath over there. So we're not too worried about that. But moving on because we kind of spoke about it a little bit. That kind of overshadowed De'Aaron Fox's 60-point game. I don't really care about the fight card that much, but I mean Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, man, how do you feel about that? There's some real ethical concerns
no,
going on with that fight.
what I was telling Skyler, fam. Yo, this fight took us back 20 years. Come on, fam. Broski, how can we let a grade of ours go down like this? I
Bro.
feel like this was a money grab, but it was the wrong money grab. I'm all for getting your money, but this is not the way, bro. Mike Tyson had a legacy, bro. We all, and the bad part is, everybody said Mike Tyson's gonna win. Yo, that's Mike. That's the Iron Hammer, bro. Like, and they have some crazy names for it, the Iron Fist or something. You know, like
I don't think anyone called him the Iron Hammer. Hold on a second. I don't know what you're talking about. It's called Iron Mike. I don't know where you heard that from.
whatever. You know, Iron Mike. Like they were saying all types of stuff, fam. Listen, now that he lost, you know what everybody's saying?
Nah,
Yo,
man.
oh, he's 58, fam. Like,
But
yo, fam.
that's the
Come on.
narrative.
Yeah. No, that's not the narrative. That's the excuse, fam. Everybody was saying
No.
he's gonna beat that guy. Everybody was like, yo, it's Mike. You think Mike's gonna lose? Are you dumb?
He shouldn't have won that. He shouldn't have won. I wanted him to win. Don't get me wrong, but he shouldn't have won that. That's it. I think if he was going to win, it would have had to be in the first like 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
Because after that, it starts getting tired. You know what I mean? You start getting fatigued, and near the end of the fight, like he wasn't even chasing Jake, but you just kind of standing more stationary and letting Jake come to him and whatever. But like, I don't know, bro. I feel like just the fact that people entertain that as a possibility that Mike Tyson could win, I feel that says enough, bro. I'm 60 years old. The man's 7 years removed. He's 58. He's 7 years removed from literally being a senior citizen, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and you're fighting a 27-year-old that's, for all intents and purposes, probably in his physical prime right now.
That's true, but fam, like, if you didn't think you couldn't win, don't step in the ring, fam. That's just
But
a
it's
legacy.
for money. I think that's just for money.
Carrying your legacy. Mike Tyson need money. Yo, we gotta do better.
Yeah, bro.
Black,
Mike
bro.
Tyson. That guy had an expensive lifestyle, bro.
That's true, but I feel like, fam, I would hope that you're only doing this because you have money. You know, you're only living the expensive life. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, fam. That was a bad one for us, bro. We took an L, bro. Kamala lost.
Chill. But nah, the thing is too, bro. Boxing fell off, bro. Boxing fell off like big time. Like I feel like the UFC kind of took over from where boxing used to be, like back in the day. Like I'm saying back in the day, like way back in the day. At this point, like with like Ali and those guys, up until like maybe the early 2000s and stuff.
Like Floyd.
Yeah, like even when Floyd was still there fighting, there was a whole bunch of greats from way back in the day that were kind of carrying the name of it and everything like that.
Yep.
Nowadays it's like, what's his name? I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like
Tank, Devin Haney.
Yeah. Devin Haney, Tank Davis.
Devin Haney.
I guess.
That's
Tyson Fury. I guess that's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's old, right?
I don't know if he's old, but like the thing is, I'm not seeing.
He beat Jake Paul.
I think that's the other thing, bro.
How come he can be? Yo, it's kind of cool.
That's the other thing. I feel like if Jake had actually just fought a boxer, he would lose. He fought Tommy Fury, who's Tyson Fury's brother, and lost. So you fought one boxer and lost. So this guy's just picking on the elderly now, bro. Like, what are we doing just to boost his ego out here, bro? Because that's what's happening. And people are falling for it. Like, I don't know what people are doing. I seen in the thing, people were saying people were trying to hint at him fighting, this guy, that guy, try to fight Canelo. Ryan Garcia called him out. I don't even know what the state is of Ryan Garcia right now. I thought he got banned from boxing personally. I don't know where he's at, but whatever. And I seen even Tank Davis. People were saying fighting Tank Davis and stuff like that. And the guy's he's a master, bro. The man's dodging everything. He ain't fighting nobody. I saw something that said he's gonna fight ISO Speed, bro. What are we doing? The kid, he's gonna fight a teenager, bro. What are we doing?
No way.
Yeah, nah.
Well, you know what's crazy? Some people even called out Shaq. Like Dwight Howard said he.
I seen that. I seen that.
And Shaq was like, "I'm only getting in the ring with someone with a ring." You feel me?
Yeah.
And then Gronk was like, "Yo, let's get it in."
Gronk stepped it. I didn't even see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
see, I
yeah,
wouldn't want to
man.
fight Gronk. Gronk is a little.
Me too.
That guy's not all the way there, bro. You know what I mean? That guy should have retired way before he actually retired. It started to get to his head.
No cap.
But yeah, I don't know, bro. I wasn't. Did you
But
watch
Shaq?
the fight? Did you watch the fight? Did you watch the thing on Netflix?
I was in the studio actually. You know what's funny about? I went to the
Mm.
studio with this guy. It was his session, but like they were so absorbed by the fight. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was on my phone, like it was there, but I wasn't like. I seen how it started, how it was going, but I wasn't. I was trying to work for real, to be
Yeah, yeah,
honest. So
yeah.
I kind of caught it because everybody was watching it, but outside of that, I didn't really care. If I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, I was watching it because it was on Netflix. It was like the first whatever
Yeah.
Netflix live
Didn't it
stream
crash?
thing.
It kept crashing,
Yeah,
fam.
bro. The whole
I broke.
production was horrible. Like the mics kept cutting out, earpieces weren't working. You had who was it on the panel? I don't remember who was on the panel, but they had former boxers on the panel, guys that had fought Mike Tyson, and bro, they're just like can't even hear what's going on. Like they don't even know they don't know what's happening. But yeah, I don't know. That's to your point though, setting us back a few years, maybe, maybe not. But I'm low key kind of like wait, let me not say that. Let me word this better. I'm I'm okay with the fact that Mike Tyson didn't win because I feel like if he did win that, like for him to have won that fight, I don't know if you've seen like highlight because obviously we're too young to have watched Mike Tyson for real, obviously. Um, but bro, the man wasn't a good guy when he was younger. The guy was a very violent. You know what I mean? He wasn't into the right headspace. He shouldn't. You know, it was dangerous what he was doing back then. So for him to have won the fight against Jake Paul, I feel like we would have had to witness this man revert back into a low life
Monster.
degenerate. You know what I mean? At 60 years old, and you don't want to see that, man. You know what I mean? The guy did so much work burying that part of himself. Yeah, for him to have to bring that back,
That
that'd
shit
been
is true.
crazy. You know what I mean? That would have been some
I
shit.
mean, you're not wrong. Still, did you see the Tyson meme?
With the interview one, I'm not showing that, but yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a joke. I don't know what that was, bro. I'm not showing that clip, but
Yo, what is that? You feel me? Like me, I don't get it, man. Me personally, I wouldn't be comfortable. I wouldn't be comfortable. Whatever that was, fam, I'm out of there, bro. Deuces, bro. You got it.
and they
You
just
got
kept
it, bro.
filming too. They didn't even
Bro,
like.
that
No one
was a
said
real one.
cut. Like, what the heck
Yeah,
are we
like,
doing?
nigga, time out. Nigga,
They
and
let
then
that
just zoomed
slide.
in, like,
What the heck?
that was crazy, man.
I don't know, but moving on, bro. Talk to me about this whole Offset and Gazo thing, bro. Because I wasn't as tapped in with it, but music wise, that's your beat. So
Okay, so basically what happened was Gazo is like he's a street guy in France, right? He's like drill. He's kind of like I don't want to compare him to Pop Smoke, but more so like that type of drill. The
oh shoot,
aggressive, really dark voice. He's sick. He's actually lit, and he's lit in France too. He's one of them ones for sure. So he did a feature with Offset, and they were good. Like everything went
like
well.
he was the
They were
feature,
even
or
at
Offset was
dinner
the feature.
together. Offset was the feature, so
Okay,
it's gonna be on Gazo's tape, right?
okay.
So then what happened was apparently. So now this is the part that isn't that clear. So some people reported that they paid him 170K or something to do the song and the video, and some other people are saying that he wasn't obligated to do the video, but he chose to do so,
Like
right?
Offset wasn't
So then
obligated
at
to
that
do it.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly. That's what some people are saying. So we don't really know which one is the facts, but then um apparently this guy Offset showed up like 2 hours after, and it's like they rented out the whole thing, fam.
damn.
2 hours late, the bro pulled up, so they are losing money already. So they're like, "Yo, bro, we gonna need a refund, bro. We
Yeah,
gotta cough up some of that cash, bro."
yeah.
Offset wasn't going, bro. Offset wasn't going. He's with security. So then that French news was like, huh? Nigga trying to play with us? He trying to call a G card, bro. What? Bro, I feel like we damn near couldn't believe, yo, fam. Women were left on the ground. I was like, yo, fam, this is despicable, fam. I'm not gonna lie, but Yo, and I love my women, bro. I love women, black women, especially. Y'all got my heart, but y'all gotta stop trying to get in between when men get to rumbling, fam,
Oh, is
and
that what
tensions are
happened?
high.
They
Yeah,
were trying
fam.
to
She
break it
was
up.
trying to, yeah, like she was trying to like tell the man to chill, and one man just dashed her, fam. He didn't even hit it, just
Uh,
dashed. But she's wearing heels, fam. That's
there's
terrible
no
for real.
balance,
Like she
bro.
lost her balance. Bing, fam, that hit the ground, fam. That was bad. That was a bad fall. I'm not gonna lie. But fam, one of the French guys like knew karate or something. He did like a high kick and hit the security. Fam, then you gotta see he did a high kick and hit the security. Like Offset's boy. Then Offset comes out. Offset's mad. The security's holding him back. He's like, yo, my friend's getting beat up. My friend's getting beat up. Then Offset comes and he gives a kick too, but it was like it was like an Atlanta kick. You feel me? Like you could tell he probably slipping. He probably drank some. You feel me? He probably smoked. He's like, nigga, pow, nigga, you feel me? But that other man, like I don't know, he had like like you know how like some people you can tell they have like a technique. Like it's like,
Yeah.
yo, fam, that was like a proper high kick. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But then after that, they had to like rush him in the hotel, and then they kind of broke it up. The police came,
yeah. Mm,
but I don't think no. You feel me? Come on, fam. We gotta hold. It's still the rap game, bro. Nobody said nothing.
yeah. But it's
Nobody
on
said nothing.
video though.
Well, it's on video. I don't
Yeah,
know how
so
that
it's
works.
like
You
it
feel
was
me?
y'all
So,
could not say anything. You could just show me the video.
I know, but Skyler, if nobody complains, like, does the police just step in and be like, "We saw y'all fighting," or you feel me? Like, how that work?
Yeah, because at
You
that
know what I
point
mean?
it's a what is it? Not public indecency, but it's like there's
Yeah,
certain
it's
ways
like
by law you need
yeah,
to act in public in certain ways that you can't act, and
yeah,
that obvious. I feel like that. I mean, shoot, I'm not no criminal lawyer. I don't know nothing about that. I try to stay away from those things. You know what I mean? You stay out the way,
yeah.
mind your business. But
Yep.
yeah, I would think if cops already catch wind of it and you're there, uh, might as well. You don't know what these guys are like, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want to just leave it alone and then you wake up in the morning and now you hear this happened, that happened. It's like, ah, dang. You
Nah,
know what
you
I
can't
mean?
sit there like this. I'm not.
That's what I mean. Like, you don't want to just leave that alone. But,
I mean, that's true. That'd be a good question, though, right? I guess you're right. They would probably have to speak to them, but like, if everybody's like, yeah, you're right. Maybe they
that's what
would
I'm
do
saying.
something.
And to your point, what you were saying before we were recording, like, I feel like, and the thing is, I feel like it's an American thing because I feel like
Of
Americans are
course.
like very, I don't mean it in a bad way, but I don't know. I feel like
Nah,
it's
it is in a bad.
prideful. And no, it is a bad way. It's
Yeah,
pride.
they
You know what I
look
mean?
down on people.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
if you
fam.
feel like you're not in the States, you just feel kind of like you're more powerful type deal.
Yeah,
And then to
fam.
your point, what you were saying is like, fam, every city has its little boroughs and places where
Trenches, fam.
you can't really, yeah, you shouldn't be acting a certain way, or you just shouldn't be going if you don't have no business there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like it's
Yeah,
an arrogance thing, pride thing too, where it's just like, well, I'm offset, bro. I do what I want, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, who are you type
yeah,
deal?
fam.
You know? And then
And that's
see,
the bad part because it's like Gazo's actually lit in France, and I feel like the United States kind of everything for them centers around them, so they
yeah,
don't
that's what I'm
really
saying.
even understand that. You feel me? Like it's like we're the trendsetters. We do this, we do that. But like, fam, I feel like you still gotta have respect for people, fam. Like that's just human decency, you know?
Yeah,
Like they could have had a conversation instead of a fight in the streets, fam.
yeah. But that's the problem. I feel like there are people out there, for right or for wrong. I don't advocate for it, but there are people out there that, they're really about that life. They really
Yeah.
are thing that, and
Uh,
they, you know what I mean. If you give them the right reason to show off in this way and show out in this way, then that's how
it
they
is what
get
it
down.
is.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like to your point, the whole French thing, like no one in the States speak French. Like Louisiana speaks a little bit of French, but
Yeah,
even
it's like
then,
Creole.
yeah, yeah. But are they paying attention to French rap? Maybe some of them are. You know what I mean? But people in Atlanta
Yeah.
aren't listening to none of that. Like
Nah.
I feel like there's a way that the actually you're the perfect person to ask, artist. How do you think that they could bridge that gap? Because I feel like there's a certain way where it will work. Like if you look at what's his name? Tiakola. How he was like he's done
Chocolat.
yeah, so he was snapping obviously in France. And then he did a few tracks with Dave, who obviously is from the UK. So now all of a sudden now you're introducing yourself, even in small portions, to an English speaking population. You know what I mean? So now it's like they might not understand a word you're saying. I don't even know if Dave understood a word he was saying, but the
Not
songs were
really. They
hard. You
kind
know
of,
what I mean?
yeah.
So
Uh,
I feel like there's a way you can bridge that, but and maybe that's
mm,
what Gazzo was trying to do with Offset. So maybe that's just how it works, and it spilled over and went to the wrong thing. But I don't know if you have an opinion on that. But I feel like people aren't gonna listen to stuff they don't understand just for no reason. You know what I mean?
yeah, but even then, like I feel like, hmm. It would take for the change for like the states to kind of change the way they approach music, which I don't know if that's gonna happen. I feel like the states expect everybody to conform to them. Like Offset is gonna do a
Mm,
thing for a bag. You give him a bag, he'll do it. But out of the kindness of his heart, is he gonna find some kid in France and be like, "Yo, this is hard." You know, they don't even mess with UK. UK speaks English. It's just the
yeah.
accent they don't like. You know, they have like specific traits where they feel like, man, like if you're not gonna, and even Drake, right? Like, yes, Drake is Canadian, but Drake went to Atlanta. Drake carries Houston on his back. Like,
Mm,
he still ingratiates himself with the states. You feel me? So
mm,
it's kind of like if you're not a guy like Central C, with Central C just universal. I
mm,
feel like at this point, he made it in the states, but he made tunes that were catchy enough for people to be undeniable. But even like, and Dave is a genius, bro. Senton Dave, when it comes to like music and bars and everything,
mm,
even Drake messes with him because he knows he's sick. Like songs like Black, songs like like Stratum or whatever,
mm.
like those they're hard, but it's like, the states doesn't even listen to Dave. And Dave's
Yeah.
probably the best rapper out of the UK, fam.
Yeah. I don't know. This is what I'm saying, bro. Back to the pride thing, back to the arrogance thing. I feel like it's
Yeah,
just,
fam.
but I think part of it too is just like, and call it what you want it, but at the end of the day, like the states do have talent, bro. Like they have plenty of people
100.
to listen to themselves. So it's like, why? Like obviously, like there's a ton of guys on their list that would probably take precedent over, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Than whatever is going on overseas, because it's like if you got a rapper that's from people in Toronto bump Drake because half the time because he's from Toronto, or they bump the Weekend because he's from was he Brampton, Miss Scarborough, sorry, he's from
that's
Scarborough.
Scarborough.
Tory Lanez and stuff. Ooh, maybe a little sensitive
Uh,
topic at the time,
yo,
but
yo,
but
at the
you know,
time,
there's people that
like,
are from Toronto. There's people that are from Toronto that will play their music solely because they're from here. You know what I mean? So for the states, it's like amplified by 10, bro. You're from Atlanta. I don't care about all this other stuff, bro. You got
yeah.
a plethora of people to listen to. So I guess that's part of
And
it.
people in the States are not open minded, fam. We have a
Yeah.
lot of examples of that. Even just us. They're
Yeah.
not open minded.
Yeah.
People, they don't care. They want to be stuck in their ways, fam. It's gonna take a too special of a talent to change. You gotta be like Drake, where you can adapt to everything and
Yeah.
do their a little bit of their accent, so they could get what you're saying and stuff.
Yeah. Because I saw this thing with Drake, and I saw this is old. I saw it a long time ago. You might agree with it or disagree. I don't know because you're obviously an artist, so you have that perception of it. People were saying that basically you're not gonna see a Drake album anymore where you like every single song because it's not the album's not for you anymore. It's for everybody. So it's like he might put out an album with 15 songs, and the first four are for you and your type of people, and then maybe you might feel a certain way about the middle three songs, and then
Yeah,
everything else you're just like, nah, I don't care about this because this isn't for me. Do you know what I mean? What do you think about
yeah,
that approach to things? I guess you can't really criticize it because shoot, it's Drake and Drake's up here. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Cause like I feel like if it's been working, I mean, one thing I will say is that for him, and that's one thing he spoke about himself, is like the one thing he has to do in all his albums is make sure that there's R&B and there's rap. Like
Yeah.
that's his biggest thing. Now within that, there's even more genres and things to explore.
Mm,
At this point, like what the way he kind of consolidated his sound, and like right now he's not doing as much like Afrobeat or like dance hall, like that's not included in the albums.
mm,
He'll still do it, but I feel like he still has to be versatile, and I feel like honestly, I think that's a good strategy because that's a good way of staying at the top. I feel like people get tired of hearing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
AKA Lil Baby, AKA the baby. Like
Mm,
if you keep doing the same thing, bro, like at one point or another, if you don't innovate, if you don't change, people are gonna get tired of it. And I
yeah.
feel like that's why he's been number one for so long, is because he kept reinventing himself and
Yeah.
making great music while doing it, you know?
Yeah. That being said, though, I feel like there's a lot of. I feel like there's certain parts of it that he can get away with doing because he is who he is. Like I was just looking at his albums, and I think it's honestly Nevermind. I wasn't a fan of that
Oh,
album.
what?
I wasn't a fan of that
Skyler.
album. But this is what I'm saying. I didn't like that. I think the only song on the album I liked was Jimmy Cook's. That was it. I
Hell
didn't
yeah,
like the
well,
rest
of
of
course
the.
you would like
What
Jimmy Cooks.
are you doing?
Of course you would like
I did
Jimmy Cooks.
I think it's that because there was that's the album where he just
You
has a whole
like
bunch of like
Sticky?
house music. No,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
it
I'm
is.
not like I didn't. So this is where like yeah, he's differentiating himself and expanding his thing, but I feel like only he's able to do that to that volume where you have a whole album that is house music. So it's like for me, I can't be the only guy that doesn't like the
No,
album.
you're not, fam.
This is what I'm
You're
saying.
not. They're
But
hating on it.
in other in other artists and everything like that, that might look like just two songs. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to just completely lose your followers off of one album. You know what I mean? Whereas Drake's Drake, so he knows there's people that are gonna rock with his stuff regardless. So he's okay to drop a whole album of this genre just to bring it back
Mm.
after with this, that, and third. Like I don't mind an occasional house song or house music song, da da whatever, whatever. But I remember listening to Honestly Nevermind, and I was like, yeah.
What is this?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even
But
Certified Lover Boy, I feel like because it had hella hype around it, because that was the album that I think just kept getting delayed and stuff like that for a time.
yeah, yeah, it
So
did
it
for a
had mad
long
hype,
time.
and I remember like now I love the album, but at the
Yeah.
first listen through, I was kind of just like, this is what I waited for, cuz you know what I mean? Like this
Yeah.
is what we're doing. But I don't know. That's my
I
take on the
was,
thing.
damn. Damn. I feel you, bro. Because I feel like you're right, but like I feel like put in context, like after 10 years of
Mm.
giving people what they wanted, I think this is one of those things that was like on his list. I love how so much.
Yeah.
Oh, I would really want to do this, and like, bro, let me do something and also give you guys a bit of a break from what I usually do, because
Mm.
that always helps, right? Like you can't miss something that's always there. You
Yeah.
feel me? But also, Skylar, fam, I would challenge you, fam. I would challenge you, because, fam, to be honest, that's my favorite thing about Drake projects. If you keep listening to them and you get them, it gets
Yeah.
better with
Better
time, fam.
grow.
It gets better with time. And I could even like, cause I understand in that album, there's kind of a lot of filler where it's like it's only the beat or stuff like that. Like it's not as
Yeah.
interesting. But I'm telling you, if I like paint a picture for you, like towards the end of the album, right? There's a song where it's kind of like he's hopeful. He's hopeful. He's no, first he finds kind of love and like, oh, he's hopeful. This is going great. And then it's kind of going downhill. And then
Mm.
all the way down. And then at the end is like liabilities.
Mm.
And then after that he moves on to like sticky and then the one you like, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like if you take it in, there's kind of a story being told there. And I feel you
Yeah.
like if I gave you like because the whole thing, I get it. It's a lot, but I feel like if I gave you like 6 songs and be like, yo, whenever you have time, whenever you're driving home, just put this on and just listen to it. Like
Mm.
a song like Flights Booked. I think you would grow to love like Flights Booked.
Mm.
You feel me? I feel like, but because I didn't like the album, I'm gonna be honest. I
Mm.
listened to it and I was like, this is not what I wanted. I
Yeah.
like what you like um. Jimmy Cooks,
Yeah.
right? Or like Sticky. I thought those were really good. But the rest of it, I was like, bro, what is this shit? You feel me?
Yeah. That's
But
what I'm
like
saying.
when you go back and you listen to what is that like behind the music, kind of the story he's trying to tell, like I don't know, like it kind of opened my palette to different things. Where like me now as an artist, I even record like on Brazilian funk type beats. You feel me?
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
kind of like I don't know if I would have done that if I didn't hear Drake make a house album because I feel like
Yeah.
that as an artist, it kind of makes you feel like you could do anything, bro. Like, why not?
Well, I think that's half of it. I think as an artist, I feel like you should be entitled to do whatever the hell you want to do. You know what I mean? It's your music shoot. You know what I mean? It's up to you how you feel like you want to grow and pinpoint your audience in different ways. I feel like for Drake, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he shouldn't have done it because obviously it benefited him because at that point he already had his group
Yeah.
of solid ride or die followers kind of thing. So now it's like, I think like even for myself, I'm listening to the album like, and I didn't like it, but I understand why. You know what I mean? Like you're just targeting a
Yeah.
different audience. You're just trying to grow it. So
Exactly.
I get it.
I'll go
Like
Europe
yeah.
and
So
stuff.
it's like I'm cool to wait for the next one for me to like the next one. You know what I mean? Like I'll sit this one out. Y'all do whatever you need to do for it. So yeah, I mean, I guess shoot. If that's
Man,
how,
I'm kind of curious now. I'm curious, guys. I have to ask you this, bro.
uh,
What is your top three Drake album, fam? I gotta hear. I
top
gotta
three
hear
Drake
why. I wanna
albums.
understand what your psyche, fam. Is it gonna be like if you're reading this type shit? Like,
I have to
what you
look
got
at it
going
stuff.
on?
Okay, so this is the thing. This is a disclaimer.
Mm.
My experience with, I guess you call it mainstream music, which is what we were saying. So like North American, let's just say North American music in general. I think
Okay.
it was very broken up, in my opinion, because
Okay.
when I was in high school, for example, I listened to, shoot, I'm not gonna lie to you, I listened to YoungBoy in high school, which is
Yo,
crazy to think
young
now.
was fire.
YoungBoy is crazy
You
back
still
then,
hear it.
but
Yeah.
now it's like I feel like he kind of dipped a little bit
Yeah. He.
because
Oh, a
I,
lot bit.
yeah, I feel like he kind of took the route of like quantity over quality, where he was just pumping
Yeah.
out song. It felt like every week there was a new song, a new thing, and at the beginning he was like, ah, cool, da da da, whatever. But then it just started to get a little too like, you know what I
I
mean?
think he did 10 projects in a year, bro.
That's what I mean. It was like, all right, this is a little bit too much. You're oversaturating the market now. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, obviously, YoungBoy has a certain sound where it's like, well, he was kind of a little. I don't want to say he was not diverse like Drake, but he did
He
have
was.
his. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
but he had his like his real, you're riding through the streets type music. But then he also had a little bit of that kind of sad boy kick where it was a bit
That pain
softer.
music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
you
bit
know?
smoother, everything like that. So I used to listen to that a lot in high school.
Yeah,
And
fire.
then obviously Migos was kicking off back then too, so listening to Migos, da da da, whatever. And then I don't know how it happened necessarily, but I got onto French music early, like pretty much straight into
Oh.
university. I was into French music, and then that bridged into the UK. And so for like years, that was my music. I was just listening to French music and UK music. So I kind of just ignored all of North American music, aside from like when the big names would drop and this and the third. But even then, I wasn't listening to them the same kind of way. So
Yeah.
for Drake, I feel like Drake was one of the guys I would listen to more often than not because, like I was saying before, he's from Toronto, bro. You know what I mean? So like it just you're gonna big up people that are from your city, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you asked me top three albums, and I'm looking at them right now. Views has to be one of them, just because I feel like that was big for the culture. I feel like there was you couldn't go anywhere without hearing songs off of Views. You know what I mean? That everything from the album cover to, you know what I mean? Just it represented the
fam.
city very well, in my opinion. So Views
Yep.
is definitely up there. You said "What a Time to Be Alive." "What a Time to Be Alive" was also like that, but I don't, because that's kind of a Drake and Future thing. I don't know
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're reading this, it's too late.
if you're reading this is too late. There's another one. To me, I think that was, I don't know. Like I listened to it, but I wasn't as tapped in back then, so I don't know if I put it up there. I put Scorpion up there actually. Scorpion was one of the albums where I actually remember, like
Yeah.
I was banging through that album. You know what I mean? They had what was the song in that God's Plan? God's Plan. I low key started to get
God's Plan.
sick of God's Plan because it got to the point where it was like, all right, there's just too much going on now.
I know, non-stop mob ties.
Yeah, it was cool, but I'll still put it up there because just of how much I listened to that album. And then I can't lie, just because we had talked about it just now, it might be Certified Lover Boy right now. Just because I feel like that album is one of the few albums where it's like, they say certain albums have no skips, where it's like, I feel like I can actually just, like, that's one of the albums where I'm good to just put it on shuffle. And then whatever it is whatever it is. You know what I mean? Whereas, there's every other album where I feel like it's okay, maybe parts here, parts there. Like For All the Dogs and everything like that, like I like certain songs on the album, but I wouldn't just put it on shuffle. It's more likely I'm just gonna pick a song. You know what I mean? Type deal. But yeah, those are my top three. Probably. Oh damn, maybe More Life too. Shoot.
I was gonna say, fam, you're forgetting, fam. If you
Yeah,
start
More
looking
Life
at
might
those
be
hard,
there too, huh?
harder than you think, fam. With the UK accents in it, then
Yeah, yeah.
we get dicey, bro.
So that might be there, but every album has classics in it too. So that's just how it goes.
Yeah,
I
fam.
guess with Drake.
Yeah, so your number one, you would say right now, Certified Lover Boy, right?
Right now, probably. but we'll see how
That's
things
valid.
change.
Still.
You know?
It has a lot of great stuff in there.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I feel like music's always very obviously it's subjective, bro. Because certain people are gonna play things where it's like, bro, you listen to this. You know what I mean? Other people are gonna swear by it that's that's the best thing they ever heard. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But anything else you want to get off your chest, brother? You know what I mean? Anything with music in the music world, the sports world, whatever it is, man. We're just running on house money at this point. We've been off script for like 45 minutes, bro.
Yeah,
we just been talking.
We just vibing, bro.
But see, I feel that's what makes the podcast go, though. You know what I mean? You just gotta
100%.
let it go.
You just gotta go, fam.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of anything right now? I don't think so, bro. I mean, Kendrick's, doing his thing. Drake is doing his thing.
You want to talk about that?
He's gonna do the Super Bowl. He got Grammy nominated. Yeah. Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go ahead and make Grammy right now. Come on, man. It happened too. It happened. I'm not gonna lie, but like, it's I don't know. I feel like it's not always a good look for us, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. Episode 6.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all for tapping in for episode 5, man. Shout out to let's go. Shout out to Emmanuel, bro. Thank you for hopping on, obviously, and keeping it consistent, bro. Keeping the consistency going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
We'll be back next week for episode 6. Beanie Boy Skyler Gonzalez, Pressure Made Emmanuel. Big things coming up. Maybe a special guest with the full crew and everything like that. So yeah, man. Y'all be easy.
Stay tuned.